Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Andrew Storm with Crave Community Solutions. And as you're aware, we get a chance to cover some great people, great events, great programs, and more. So, whether it's within community and nonprofits, college, professional sports, government and politics, a little bit of everything, we're always excited to get a chance to talk with people. When you get an opportunity, you want to check out our full article at acenortonccs.com. Click on the menu for articles and coverage and our subcategory for community and nonprofits. You also want to make sure to add Crave Community Solutions LLC so you can catch us on Facebook as well as YouTube so you can see some of the video footage for today's talk, and of course on Instagram and Twitter at Ace Norton CCS. And we'll also have this on LinkedIn as well as Medium, one of the press and media sites. So I'm really excited to talk a little bit about some of the great work that's taking place at Kate's Club. And I have one of the key people that helps kind of make things happen. So could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, my name is Lane Pease-Hendricks. I am the Director of Education and Innovative Programs at Kate's Club.
And I tell you what, we thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule, especially with the holidays going on, to talk with us. So before you dive into the specific work that you do, for those who may not be familiar with the story of Kate's Club, please walk us through that.
So Kate's Club is a bereavement organization for children, teens, and their families and young adults. But we have been around 21 years. Next 2025 will be going into our 22nd year. We were founded by Kate Atwood when she was just 23 years old because her mother had died when she was 12. And she will tell you that though her father and brother and she loved each other very much, they did not know how to grieve together. And no one talked about her mother. So when she was in college, she volunteered at a camp for grieving children. And it was the first time she had spoken her mother's name or said anything about her mother since she was 12 years old. She didn't know any other kids that were grieving. And if you know about being a child, one of the worst things in the world is feel like you're the only one and you're the different one. So when she moved to Atlanta after college at just 23, she started Kate's Club. And it was really a way for kids to connect with one another who had that shared experience of the death of a parent, sibling, or caregiver. And it grew from starting with 6 kids to thousands of children through the years, and many more programs and many more ways to reach families. And now we've expanded also in the past 2 years to young adults.
Wow. And you hit on a couple of subjects, like we understand the concept of grief, but we kind of forget that grief impacts different audiences and different age groups accordingly. So I really appreciate how you walk through that with us. In looking at the lane that you operate through, walk us through some of the key moving parts as you're helping equip and empower, the audiences that you just mentioned.
Right. So one of the key moving parts for children and teenagers, I would say, is they don't grieve like adults. They don't want to come and sit in a circle and talk about their feelings. And many adults are really fine with doing that. They want to have fun. So we have a lot of fun things at Kate's Club. I will say about Kate's Club, we have sad moments, but we're not a sad place. So we know children learn through play, through experiential activities. And so that's what we do with them. We have grief activities, but they don't know necessarily that they're, but we might be doing yoga and doing art or going for a bicycle ride or doing a play therapy activity, maybe music. So they're expressing themselves through these experiences, and that's key for children. For young adults, we meet them where they are. Our young adult program is virtual and hybrid. So meaning, once a month it's completely virtual and once a month it's hybrid if people are in Atlanta and want to come in for dinner ahead of time. But we Zoom others in because we know for young adults and we meet them they come in from all over the country. That's key, is to kind of meet them where they are. The key for all of these programs and for caregivers too is building community. So they're going to be in groups. We do not do individual therapy. We do group activities. We do family nights. So the families come together with other families. and do an activity with their family. So the real key is that building community through group activity.
Wow. And it's great that you use multiple approaches, because it's like you think about people learn different ways, or they kind of lean one direction or another. And instead of doing a one size fits all, it's almost like you said, you're meeting them where they are. Someone operates better through music, or if they operate better virtually, if they operate better in person. What would you say, especially during the holidays, what would you say is one example or one program that you've been able to do that's like, wow, we're really like, it's really hitting you? You know how you have those moments? What would you say so far, whether during the holidays or any time that you can think of, wow, this one really hit home for me?
Well, this is very timely because we just had our Holiday Hugs program on Saturday. So we do holiday programs at Siblings Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, and we have one for all our families at the winter holidays. So we had over 170 some odd people here at our clubhouse in Brookhaven on Saturday, and families came together to do a memory activity and to talk about how they share as a family. And so we had refreshments. Then we had our board of directors came to serve lunch. Then we had our a poem we read called "We Remember Them," and it's just a very moving experience. Another nonprofit that one of our past moms created called is the Widow Empowerment Program. They brought gifts, and she had a lot of things donated so the families could also have something special for the holidays, especially those who maybe are struggling this time of year. And then we went bowling. So you see the fun part with the grief part, and joy and sadness can exist together in the same space. You know, we don't necessarily feel one emotion at one time. We can feel those together. And so it might be that sadness that our loved ones aren't with us at the holidays, but it's also that joy of being together with others and to have fun, bowling and things like that. So that's one of the, I think, everyone's favorite programs of the year.
Wow. And that's neat, because you think about things, you think you can only do things one way or only look at them through one lens. But just like you said before, you're taking the time to, let's say, emotionally decompress, but then it's like you're helping redirect that energy. And I definitely, that approach, wow, that's really, really
Yeah.
powerful and really.
Well, I know we don't want to send families home with after our emotional morning and our poem reading and just say, okay, go home now with your big emotions. But no, we're going to go over to the bowling alley and I'll spend the afternoon bowling with one another.
Wow, that's great. Well, not only just during the holidays, but anytime. So, as we're in the midst of the holiday season, we're almost into a new year. What are some things that are on the immediate horizon that you have in place? And especially if there's things where there's volunteer opportunities or things along those lines. Walk us through those, please.
Right. So we're excited about the new year where we've won pretty much this rest of this week. I think we have one family night for our members, and then we're done for the year. But the new year is really exciting. So we do in-person programming in Atlanta, Newnan, Athens, Brunswick, and Albany. So just knowing that there's multiple places around the states to connect. We also do school outreach pretty much all over the state now in different areas. But so if you work for a school and you would like, your students to have a grief support group come to their school, there's many opportunities to volunteer at Kate's Club. So we are really volunteer based. So we're a relatively small staff in relation to all the families we serve. So if you would like to volunteer and work with kids and you're in one of those areas, we definitely need more volunteers in some of our outlying areas as well as Atlanta. And you would like to, you have a heart for working with children, or maybe you had a loss when you were younger and you feel really connected to our mission, come on and go to katesclub.org and fill out a volunteer application. You can work directly with the children. We will train you. We will give you that grief education as well as that group management, and you can do that. If you have a organization that maybe you have a Sunday school class or a club or sorority or fraternity that wants to do something for, or a corporate, an office that wants to do something as a group, get in touch. There's opportunities to come to the clubhouse and do a project for us, even if it's cleaning the clubhouse, or you could have an art supply drive. We go through a lot of art supplies or snacks, but also on our family nights, your organization could make and come and serve dinner to our families, which is something we love to have happen. So there's many ways to connect with Kate's Club. And as always, you can always donate. We're a nonprofit. We don't charge for any of our programs that we do with our families and young adults.
Wow. I tell you what, and it's great that you walked us through not only the backstory of the nonprofit, the larger work that's done, the work that you've done within your space, for lack of a better term, the programming done for youth, adults, families, just the community in regards to grief management. And of course, like you just shared, volunteer opportunities and ways for people to lend support. So as we get ready to wind down, two things I'd like to ask you. Number one, remind us of the ways that people can find out more and stay connected. And then the second thing, if people don't remember anything else about what we've talked about, what's one nugget, piece of insight that you'd like to share that people can take with them and use across the board?
For information about all of our programs, the best place to go is katesclub.org. You could also call 404-347-7619. If you prefer to just talk to someone, if you're grieving or you know of someone who needs our services. I think the number one takeaway is that no one should have to grieve alone. So if you have a family or a friend or family member who's grieving, just reach out. If they qualify for Kate's Club, meaning they're in that population, tell them about Kate's Club. But if not, just be there for them. Check in, especially around the holidays. It's a hard time for people who are grieving. All year is hard. The holiday season can be especially lonely and hard. So make sure you're reaching out. Just tell them you're thinking of them. I think that's the biggest thing. We don't want anyone to have to grieve alone.
Well, I tell you what, I thank you so much for taking time to share the story of impact, the work that you're doing, the ways that people can get involved. And ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time hearing about Kate's Club, please don't let it be your last. Like, share, send. I don't know, write a message and put it in a bottle, something, so people
yes, please.
of the work that they're doing. And of course, to recap, you can find our article on acenortonccs.com. Click on the menu for articles and coverage, and you'll see that. And it'll also be in our subdirectory for nonprofits and community. You'll also see this on Facebook and YouTube at Creative Community Solutions, LLC. Ace Norton CCS on Instagram and Twitter, and of course on LinkedIn and Medium. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, please take very good care, not only today, but during the holiday season. And thank you once again, all of you. Have a great day, great week, and looking forward to a great start to 2025.